Welcome to the year 2034, where either football has changed a lot or my performance analyst hasn't got a clue what he is talking about. We're welcoming PSG today for a top-of-the-table clash, and our performance analyst is advising us that the Parisians are going to be parking the bus. Either we're striking fear into the heart of French football, or this guy is absolutely clueless. I'm expecting it to be a tough game today. PSG have won the last 9 fixtures in a row. But imagine, as unlikely as it seems, that we nick a result. That's got to be FM21 Redemption, hasn't it? So I'm predicting that this evening is going to be a very tricky encounter for the boys. PSG are in pursuit of their 18th consecutive Ligue 1 title. They've still got some familiar names knocking around like Kylian Mbappe. He has had quite the career. I'd look out for this boy. I think one day he might go on and play for his country in real life because he looks a little bit special in game. And I tell you, they have got quality all over the pitch. They've got other players that are still knocking around in real life like Camavinga, a legendary midfielder. Talking of legends, by the way, Jude Bellingham signed for them in the summer. Did he ever make his way back to Birmingham to take up that retired shirt? Not yet. I'm sure it's the next move on Jude's itinerary, probably waiting for Birmingham to get that Champions League place that the owners promised when they first sold him. They're currently in the Championship. Doesn't look like it's going to happen soon. Maybe in the future. They've got players that are valued way in excess of anything that we can boast. Luckily, their most highly valued player, an Englishman by the name of Jamie Malone, is going to be suspended for today's game. And thank goodness he is, because he is a frightening little proposition. But they've got other players worth over £50 million. This striker, Norberto Ray, he could give our back three a torrid afternoon. This is going to be tricky. One of the other players we're quite fearful of is another England international, Peter Bailey, 6'6", jumping of 20. He looks like he marshals that defence pretty well. It is going to be difficult for us. However, we are going head-to-head with PSG, not just in a game today, but at the top of the table. Let me show you. Okay, this is not the league table anybody was expecting at the start of the season, but we are second after 13 games. We're equal on points with PSG. They're only ahead of us on goal difference. We've actually outscored the Parisians so far this season. Now, I know it's all going to come crashing down pretty soon. We're not going to be taking PSG on in a title battle, but in France, 6 clubs all qualify for European competition. In fact, the top 3 all make it into the Champions League. And look, early stages of the season I realised, but we're 10 points clear of Marseille for those Champions League qualification spots. And Champions League qualification is a massive payday. As well as finishing in that top 3 would give us a nice little payout from our league position as well. So we're upscaling our expectations slightly. There's going to be a drop-off, I realise. But if we could go for one of those top 6 positions, then that is going to be an excellent first season in Ligue 1. Remember, it's only 2 seasons since we were sacked from our job in the Norwegian Premier Division when we were scrapping against relegation with Trompsdalen. To be equal with PSG on points after 13 games, I am going to take. Let's show you the form that we've had since the last episode that's led to this place in the table. So this is our form since the last episode. It's not perfect. We have dropped points. We probably shouldn't have, to be honest. In the last episode, we were very good, beating Lyon 3-1, despite the fact that we had a man sent off early in that second half. It's the next game where we dropped points. We drew 0-0 with Metz, but we had the chance to take the lead inside 2 minutes when we were gifted a penalty. Lansana Bar stepped up. He hit the target, but it clipped the inside of the post. Ran across the face of the goal. That would have got us off to the perfect start. Unfortunately, we then had 2 further goals disallowed. We racked up an XG of almost 3. We had 11 shots on target. Metz didn't threaten us really, but we couldn't break them down. and we drop points, and every time we do drop points, I expect it to be the start of our inevitable demise. But we've done okay. We actually played better in the Mets game than we did in the next one against Lorient. They scored a late goal to make it a nervy end, but Carvot scored, and little Frankie Nicks got his 6th of the season from centre-half. Training well, he's really starting to develop. He's only 20 years old. Those mentals are good, the physicals are coming on, the technicals are still pretty woeful. 6 goals in 12 for a centre-half though. He's playing pretty well. Then in the next game, it was a tight one. It was a cagey little affair. Old Frankie Nicks scored for us again. You can guess he was up for a corner. He didn't get an XG of even 1 in this game. It was a tougher fixture. But we managed to escape with the 3 points. And then we played Strasbourg, and they are in the top 8. So they are a good side. And we went a goal down in this game, and they missed a penalty this time. They blazed it wide rather than it being a save. And I thought that we were in trouble. The first half was certainly edged by Strasbourg. But in the second half, we brought Sturvold on. We brought him over onto the right-hand side as that advanced playmaker that we spoke about in the previous episode. And it worked an absolute treat because the little magician drifted inside not just once but on 2 different occasions, and he was clinical in front of goal. He gave us the cutting edge that we've perhaps been lacking a little bit in our last couple of games, because in terms of the strikers, the goals have dried up a little bit. Maybe we should show you the form that they are in. So here's Al Belushi. We're watching his attributes crumble before our eyes. It says best case scenario, he could be back in training in 5 weeks. More likely, it could be closer to 3 months until he's back. How long it's going to take him to recover all of the lost ground that he's had since breaking his leg, I'm not entirely sure. The guy that was doing a great job replacing him was Sofiane Ben-Yedder. However, his form has dwindled a little bit. He got an assist in the last game, but he's not scored in the last 4. And worryingly, you look at his report, he does have that trait of being a fairly inconsistent performer and not enjoying the big matches. So I've decided to relegate him to the bench for today's game. And coming in his place for his first start is going to be a player that's on loan from Marseille, Zini Erdem, who is a great dribbler, a great finisher. He's got a good first touch. He's going to come deep and link up the play. He's got 2 goals and assists in 7 substitute appearances. And also, quite crucially, he's a consistent performer rather than an inconsistent one. So I'm taking a tactical gamble. Other than that, I think we've got our best 11 out onto the pitch. We've got the Nicholas brothers back there. We've got Garina Mensah. We're going with Giuria ahead of Grachev. Grachev has been coming on, doing pretty well, but then when we start him, he doesn't perform quite as well. So we're going to go with Giuria today. We've got Kyrgyzstan as well, BA and Salim Chan. Chan is wanted by Leeds. Their boss, Slaven Bilic, seems to be coming to every game we have at the moment. He's looking pretty good, although Chan's only listed as an attacking midfielder. We've got 2 players in our squad now who've been upgraded to full-on wonder kids. Little Paddy Dubois is one, even though he's not a regular. He was the last to stop sulking about relegation. Never really made his way into the team. And the other wonder kid we've got now is Infamara BA, the enemy of the comment section down below. But I reckon with that wonder kid status and him developing, this guy could be a payday waiting to happen. Spal in Serie A are the only club interested at the moment, but he's only 20 years old. If he could develop with us for another season or 2, I think we might have a nice little payday there. A payday we do need, by the way, because the finances are not looking stunning. We're £5 million in debt. Now, that's because we were given a transfer budget that would have taken us into the minus figures if we spent it all, and that's right, I spent it all. And also, I've spent money over the pre-season improving every element of our facilities. We spent money on the training ground, on the youth facilities, on the junior coaching and on the youth recruitment. They're all looking pretty good now. I want to get this youth recruitment up even higher, but that has taken a lot of money out of the club coffers, hence why we might be looking at selling one of our star names maybe at the end of the season. But if we could qualify for European competition and finish high up enough in the league, that might not be necessary. I guess we get out there and see how these boys rate when they're taking on the best team in the country. The best laid plans, of course. You come back for a big game against PSG and the referees decided that both teams are going to wear the same kit. Look at us for white shorts. That's the only way I think we're going to distinguish between these two sides. I think we're seeing this game as a little bit of a free hit, aren't we? I mean, they're going for their 18th title in a row. We are not at a level where we can compete with them over the course of a season, but over the course of 13 games we've actually made a pretty bright start. Look, 5 shots, 3 on target. They're yet to register an effort until now. They're on the free kicks and they've hit the bar with one. And Salim Chan has to blast it away. And now that's stung them into action. We've headed clear, but they've picked up the ball. What can we do to try and win it back and counter? We've got Giaria out there. He's not got a tackle in Camavinga. And they've got their own BA. And they've got Ray, who we talked about before the game. And the Argentinian is a lethal marksman. And well, they did park the bus for the first 20 minutes of the game. They have a free kick that strikes the bar. It stings them into action. And they have sliced through our back three here. They have got all kinds of space. They could have scored with that effort. Ray is a very lively striker. And we've got the goal down that we assumed was going to happen. However, look at the league table. We lose today. We're still, 8 points clear of third place Lille. We're not even that far into the season. We're not even at the halfway point yet. So yes, we could collapse. Yes, we could pick up more injuries and go backwards. I don't think there's going to be any money for us to strengthen with in January. So we're going to be sticking with what we've got. But some of our players are training very well. We're developing them nicely. They're being exposed to top flight first team football. And we look pretty dangerous when we play most teams. Carvot looks superb. Lansana Ba has been superb himself over on the left wing. We filled in without our top striker. And if we can just get through to January, he might be back in and around the first team as Ray puts them 2-0 up. And we're going to throw out a little shout because after a bright start, that has been a poor second element of the first half. And Ray's got the ball. Look here, we don't look in any trouble. A little bit of movement in behind Mensah. And Ray, well, Ray is that good. So we're going into half-time at least 2-0 down, but we've had as many shots on target as they have. We are just lacking a bit of potency up front now. Can we drag ourselves back in? Carvot, I think, gets on the end of it. It's flicked off the bar. And we're going in 2-0. Not unexpected, but considering the start we made, a bit disappointing. And considering the match stats, maybe a little bit undeserved. We're going to give them a tough talk. The decision to bring in Erdem has clearly not worked. I think we need to make some tweaks for half-time and get back out there and see if we can at least salvage a little bit of dignity. Okay, back underway and we've completely changed the front three. We've put Bar up as the central striker. We've moved Carvot out to be the inside forward out on the left. And we've brought young Sturvold on to be that advanced playmaker over on the right side to see if he can help create some better chances than we made in the first half and maybe even get on the end of one. Who knows? It means that Kyrgyzstan's got a little bit more space in front of him to stretch his legs and get forward. And Carvot is now coming in from the left-hand side rather than being a winger over on the right. And he has snuck in at that left far post and nodded one past the keeper. And with 51 minutes on the clock, we are now only 2-1 down against PSG. Unexpected. This whole start of the season has been unexpected. If we could drag ourselves into a Champions League spot this season, well, the money that would give us to be able to strengthen with more under 23 domestic talent would be encouraging. That looks like they've given away a free kick right on the edge of the box. Sturvold was involved. Bars on the free kicks. Oh, and I think he's hit the woodwork again. That could be the second time we've struck the woodwork in the game. We've had 12 corners. We've got an XG way higher than PSG. There's a chance that we could drag ourselves back into this game. I'm going to have a look at whether we've got any tired legs or any tactical tweaks we could make. 20 odd minutes to go. Let's see if we can do it. Okay, we've done it. We've taken Bar off and we brought on Ben Yedder. Inconsistent, doesn't like big games. But Frankie Nicks does, doesn't he? That's that boy's 7th of the season. God, he's up like an absolute colossus at that near post. Chan slings it in. Frankie Nicks gets another goal. Whenever he strides forward, he looks like an Adonis. But we're not done yet. Now PSG are coming at us. They've got a set piece of their own. They're playing it around their defensive line. The movement of Ray could spring past us at any point. We've picked up the ball. Here's Kyrgyzstan. He's got the ball on the right. Nervous we're going to give it away. Sturvold. Is he going to do something more creative? There's Ben Yedder. We're working our way forward. Sturvold's pulling the old strings here. And now we've slipped it through. Oh, I thought he might get on the end of that. But we are giving PSG a bit of a fright. Here's Giaria. He slung it in. Oh, and Sturvold has nodded just over again. 15 minutes. We're into the highlights again. I was thinking about my final change. We might have to wait. We might need to go more attacking, by the way. If they score from this chance, they've got space down the right. Giaria's held him up, but the ball's still coming into the box. Oh, and it's gone off the bar, and when it's PSG that hit the bar, it hits the underside and bounces down over the line after dragging yourself back from 2-0 down. That's pretty disappointing. I felt there were 2 opportunities to close that down. It was a good strike. A little bit fortunate, and now we're looking at making changes. We've got a couple of tired legs, but we've also got some poor performances up front. Let's see if we can tweak it and go at them again for the final 14. Okay, it's all change again. We've brought on Larson Pleam to play in the front 3. We've brought Sturvold back into the midfield. We've abandoned the pivot. But so far, it's not created any chances for us. We've got a better XG than PSG here. And this could be a highlight, you know. We've still got 2.5 minutes of injury time and we're on the ball. We're building from the back. And we've at least given them a fright, I think. We've shown that we're no mugs. Carvot's back over on the right wing. And little Ben Yedder, inconsistent, hates the big games. Any manager worth their salt would have shown faith and played him from the start. Unfortunately, Toulouse have got a terrible coach in charge, who at least brought him off the bench. And he's shown what he can do because he has volleyed one into the side netting. And you know what? At this point, we are going to shut up. If we could get a point at PSG, I know that we are the home team, but I reckon that is a great performance considering you were 2-0 down. So let's drop everybody back. Let's get these midfield players on more support duties. Larson Pleam himself is going to go on to a support duty. Sturvold going to have to be a defensive deep line playmaker. Let's get off the attack. Let's go cautious and let's drop these lines. This could be inviting pressure because we've still got 2 minutes of injury time to go. But I've been using this kind of approach consistently when we've been ahead in games and it has been working okay. We're going to play for the set pieces as well. Oh my goodness, we are 3-3 with PSG. Is there the late heartache to come? There isn't. We have shut up shop. We've kept them out. And Yedder has come on and been their hero in a big game. And we've nicked a point against French royalty. Now, that's not going to be enough to get us to the top of the table. We're still going to be 2 goals behind them in terms of the goal difference, but 14 games gone, we're going stride to stride with them. Now we've got to go and play through a few fixtures. We've got to make a little bit of progress in this season. By the time we come back and see you again, we'll be into the second half of the campaign. If we are still anywhere near the top of the table, we're heading for FM21 Redemption.